Welcome back to the Shine Speakeasy, the quiet corner of the dance mom world where we trade perfection for presence. This is where we exhale, reflect, and remember that showing up, just as we are, is more than enough. I've been a comp mom for a few years now, and if there's one thing I've learned is that we need a room like this. This week's topic: rising prices, tighter budgets. One simple method to help dance moms stay afloat. Today, we're talking about a budgeting mindset that's been helping me take control of the rising costs without feeling like I'm failing or falling behind. I know how much the numbers have changed in just a few seasons. Let's be real, everything costs more this year. The Consumer Price Index shows that prices are up 2.7% over the past year, with food costs climbing about 3%, and that's on top of the increases we've been seeing since 2021. Gas, groceries, utilities, and even quick grab-and-go meals are hitting harder, and we're feeling it. You're feeling it in all of these other arenas: rising rent, higher utility bills, more expensive recital venues, costumes. I saw some posts talking about how costumes, depending on where you're getting them from, could be exposed to tariffs. All of this is adding up. When studios face these pressures, they often, because they are businesses, they often have no choice but to pass some of those costs down to us. A man last recital season couldn't process the service charge fees for the ticket purchases, but that is a legitimate expense. Someone's got to pay it. It's either going to be rolled into the ticket price or it's going to be rolled and absorbed into your dance tuition somewhere that maybe it's not outlined specifically. I've been seeing a lot of concern amongst dance moms right now. In conversations, group chats, even in those quick in the lobby moments, everyone is busy and everyone is concerned about affording things right now. This topic feels more timely than ever because many of us are trying to figure out how to keep up without burning out and without stressing out over finances. That's why I wanted to talk about this right now. Rising costs aren't just an abstract headline. They're showing up in our studios, in our dancers' calendars, and landing in our monthly budgets. I felt it myself, and last year I had to make a conscious choice and decision to shift how I think about spending during the season. We're super busy, and I'm still guilty of it, but I try to make sure that I'm balancing out how many times we're hitting that drive-through on rehearsal nights. And it's not just about the money, it's about the habit. We started doing quick meal preps at home instead and using an electric lunchbox. Instead of cutting everything you enjoy, you may want to make one intentional trade in your spending that gives you that financial breathing room. The goal is simple: make room for the expenses that matter most right now, your bills, your comp fees, and the basics that keep your household running. Why this works well: it seems doable because you're doing one trade at a time. There's less overwhelm. You can see the relief in your budget right away. There's less of a wait and see. There's more of an immediate impact when you're seeing the money that you would spend, especially if you're taking that money that you would spend. I highly recommend creating a dance savings account. I have an automatic transfer set up so that every week there's money going over to that dance account that is gone before I can even touch it. It definitely does help, and it adds up if you're using it in the right way. You choose where the money goes when you do something like that instead of letting the expenses choose for you. When you go and you're thinking about going out, you look and see that you don't have the money for it. Technically, you probably do because it's in your dance account, but you're not touching that account. You're in control in a season of chaos, and that is substantially more beneficial in the long run. So think about where money is quietly leaking. You could trade 2 Chick-fil-A dinners and pay half of your next comp fee, maybe, depending on the size of your family. You could trade staying at the team hotel or the sponsored hotel for the competition for a nearby Airbnb. We did this very same thing for nationals last year. And that allows us more wiggle room to cover for tuition. You can trade your weekly Target walkthrough run and save a bit of that money once it's out of your sight, once it's in that savings account, and use that for your recital tickets, use that for your dancer photos for the year, because those are even adding up. After you finish step one and you spot your trade, you want to next decide where the breathing room goes. Ideas that feel like relief, something like covering your competition fees before they're due, paying a utility bill off early so that it's off your plate, getting ahead on your groceries for the week. I know that's a big one, especially with back to school season right now. These are all things that are going to feel like relief. They're not necessarily luxury things, but it's something that's going to help you in the long run. Figure out your trade. If having your electric bill paid off early gives you more breathing room for the end of the month when your tuition for dance is due, choose that. Next, you want to move into tracking this. Keep a sticky note in your planner or in a phone note with the trade and the purpose. It's helpful to see it written out because your past self is encouraging and motivating your future self to do something that will benefit your even future self. You could write, skip 2 takeout meals, and that equals $60 towards the February comp fee. That's going to make you feel a little bit better. So when you see the $60 towards your February comp fee, you're going to feel empowered by it. It's not about deprivation. It's about making small, smart shifts so you don't feel like you're drowning. And if you're feeling embarrassed about making trade-offs, please do not feel that way. That's not failure. That is simply strategy. Dance life is expensive, even in a good economy. And right now, it's okay to prioritize your stability, your family stability, over the extras. This week, I challenge you to choose one trade. Write it down. Decide exactly where that breathing room will go. One of the trades that I've been working hard on, myself and my husband, a few years ago, we used to be Amazon-aholics. And, over the course of looking back and having reflection periods, we realized, no, we have got to curb this. My trade is skipping 3 impulse Amazon orders so that the money can go into my dancer's savings account. It sounds easy, but sometimes when you know you can get something within even the same day, it does take a bit of willpower to be able to make this trade. I hope you leave this conversation feeling a little lighter, a little more in control, and reminded that you're not alone in navigating financial obligations and the weight of the rising costs within the dance world this season. We're doing the best we can, one trade, one simple trade at a time. We want the best for our dancers, we want the best for our families, and we want to make sure that there's some accountability, that we're not selling the farm. Is that a phrase? That we're not selling the farm to pay for a lifestyle that we can't sustain. Or if it's hard for us to sustain it, that we're making smart goals, smart actionable steps to make it more affordable for us. I don't know when these costs are going to change, but we're going to have to navigate our desires for our dancer and our fear of missing out so that we are balancing the needs and the stability of our family. There's a lot more to the conversation, and we'll be having those conversations here. Thanks for stepping into the Speak Easy with me, and I'll see you in the next one.